I can't.
Because when you say Bojido, you figure it would be J before D. It's actually D before J. So, Bojido was always... It's pretty much the traditional name for karma in the Buddhist religion. So we ran with that. Prim.
Prim is named Prim because if you've ever seen a Prim doll, if you haven't looked them up, they're alternately creepy and cute. Dolls in the colonial era and later in the United States were very simple. They were very simplistic, very rough, the basic you could be. They had stitched on faces, and they look really strange, and they're usually made out of a type of material that stains very easily. So, if you look up Prim dolls, and like people will sell newly made Prim dolls that are made to look old. People do this at the shops at the Peddler's Mall here in Winchester all the time, and they're big sellers because they're very unique looking. They're very old school, very traditional Americana type stuff. And I like making them. I've actually made a couple of them before. They weren't very good, but I had fun making them. So I like the concept of Prim dolls, and I wanted to use that term somewhere. And it was used in RagNBone once before as just a little in-joke, but I wanted to use it for this particular character's name because she's the most primitive design concept that it can possibly be. Absolutely the most primitive. I don't think you could get less primitive than Prim is.
Did you go over the premise of Vitus?
Oh, that also. I'm dumb. I forgot that. Her full name is actually Primus Vitae, which means first life, and it's Latin. So it's also short for that, but it has the alternative thing of being, a term for a simple doll. So there you go.
Let's see. Absence. Absence's name comes from the lack thereof, and Jesus Christ does he lack a lot of shit.
Brains is one of them.
Brains, logic.
Control.
His name actually came from the fact because I was always fascinated when this was actually after we read the commentary, or we watched the commentary for 9, and I completely forgot that the concept existed. But you know how some people act. One was actually one of these. Has no idea how to lead people in a time of peace, but knows exactly what to do in a time of war. They're the people, you probably know somebody like this in your life, where somebody has no idea how to act in a certain situation, but in other situations you would have never guessed. My mother, for example, when she gets on a computer, and she knows exactly what she's doing when she's on a computer. She really does. But if she goes onto a website that just baffles her, she reverts to being like a 12-year-old that has no idea how to use the internet at all, whatsoever. And I have to walk her literally through every step. Literally, as in, when she pulls up the webpage and she has to ask me, where do I sign up? Even if there's a giant red sign up button that says sign up right there, I have to click it for her. And then we have to sit there, and even though all the little spaces are labeled, name, email, birth date, I have to tell her what to fill in each spot. Whereas if she's filling out tax papers, all that information comes clean. Oh, that's perfect. So absence is the lack thereof. He has no idea how to act when he is not in control of an army or in control of any particular group. So he kind of comes off as very mentally unstable in more ways than one.
Mentally unstable is a nice way of putting it, Rattles.
Yeah, that's the nice way. Psychologically challenged.
How about batshit crazy? I think that's a more appropriate term.
That's a more appropriate term, but it's a little bit more vulgar than mentally unstable.
Mentally
We're trying to be nice here.
You're trying to be nice to Absence? He's never nice to anyone else. Anyway.
This is true. This is true. Arsenal.
Arsenal was really simple and straightforward. He was born in war, and that's pretty much been his career ever since. So, yeah he's named easy. Straightforward for what he does. Arsenal.
Let's see.
He technically is a part of an arsenal if you think about it, considering what he does and what he can do.
Then you have Hush. Hush, I actually went through a couple of different names regarding this character, but I came out with Hush. The reason for it is
like she.
Yeah. she with the slash down the S and the H.
Yeah.
Because hush, you're not supposed to be able to determine the gender. However, most refer to hush as a chick, so it's a girl. But she cannot talk without the use of a particular addition that she has. She doesn't actually have a mouth. She doesn't have eyes. She's very creepy when you actually think about it. Try to have a nightmare tonight about, something with no eyes, no mouth, but a handful of needles. And you'll pretty much get the impression of Hush.
Reminds me of Bubblehead Nurses and freaking
in Silent Hill. Yeah, I would not be surprised if that's where I got them, even though I've only seen pictures of it. But,
you need to see what this is like in action. It's amazing.
Yeah, I've seen some videos of it. It's kind of fucking creepy. But, Hush pretty much gives off. She doesn't like to give out a lot of information. She'll state exactly what needs to be said, enough to get it across, but not enough to go into detail.
9 can't stand that.
Yeah. 9 is insane. 9, she's that person who, will give an answer, but that answer produces 500 more questions than the original.
So, of course, 9's like, what?
Yeah, and if she doesn't feel like answering it, she will not answer it until the answer is necessary. So, her name is Hush. Let's see. Next we have Vicar.
Vicar is named for the terminology vicar, which, if I'm not mistaken, hang on, I'm actually going to pull up the exact definition because it's not exactly a priest. It's sort of a priest, but it's not entirely.
Vicar, isn't that Vicar like supposed to be the leader of something? Of a foundation or something like that?
Hang on. Okay. In the broadest sense of vicar, or vicar, is a representative, deputy, or substitute, anyone acting in the person or an agent for a superior. In this sense, the title is comparable to lieutenant, literally, the placeholder. It usually appears in Christian context because a representative of the church can be considered a vicar or a vicar. I can't honestly remember. I think vicar is the appropriate pronunciation, but the way the vicar's name is pronounced is vicar. Let's see. In Catholic law, a vicar is the representative of any ecclesiastic entity, which essentially means, I'm pretty sure, the representative of the church.
Mm-hmm.
So there are different kinds. There are some that have parishes. There are some that don't have parishes. So a lot of things like that. But I got it because of the church terminology for it, because of the fact that there was a book we read back in high school that had a character that was a vicar in it, and I liked the term. It kind of stuck with me, and it kind of works with vicar because of his appearance and the way he approaches people. He is kind of a representative in a way for the Evepunks. The way I kind of see it anyway, is he's sort of the voice. He's one of the few that will give you answers and speak reason. He just tries to do it within the boundaries of what can and can't be said.
Let's see. Staccato. Staccato actually came into my mind way before the Evepunks were even created.
Because he's been showing up in RagNBone.
He's been showing up way before the Evepunks. He actually showed up. There's a picture of him on the open canvas in my DeviantArt gallery. But
he showed up in the roleplay even before then.
I love the concept of the fact that Seven was using a skull as a helmet. And being a fan of that, and a fan of Cubone from Pokemon, I was like, there's gotta be a way to make this a little bit more creepier. So, I actually had a fruit bat skeleton be the basis for a mannequin. And it turned out to be Staccato. And Staccato I actually got out of the song that represents him, which is Cinderella's Revenge. And if you listen to that song, you'll see exactly just the way that the pacing is timed in that song. I'm getting like tweets and Facebook stuff all at once. It's one of those songs that doesn't really have a steady rhythm to it. It kind of jumps up and down at random. So I kind of named him after that. But Staccato is also one of those characters that kind of goes up and down. He'll be calm one minute, kind of out there the next, and then you'll never think anything of it the next.
Yeah.
So he's one of those that's supposed to be in the background, but isn't. And then you have Diggory.
Diggory is such a random ass name. Okay.
I know exactly where we got the name Diggory.
You got it from Harry Potter,
gave
didn't you? You got it from Harry Potter.
I got it from Harry Potter because I love that name Diggory, and I gave you that name. And
I know
was like,
you did.
You should name him Diggory.
It was dumb. I had started making a Stitch Punk prototype drawing. Not drawing, but
you've seen in our videos.
Stuffy. And so I had stitched it together and everything, and he's almost finished. He just needs his eyes and his hands and his feet, but I haven't really got around to finishing him. So I made this thing one weekend, and I showed Rattles over the cam. I took a picture of him, and I sent it to her, and she goes, "Yeah, name him. Diggory. He looks like a Diggory." And I was like, "Okay, well, Diggory it'll be." And we lolled about it because I never intended this to be a character. He has since become one of the most amazing, terrible villains that we've ever had.
I think I know where I even got the name Diggory. It's because of the fact that when you showed me him, because of the way your camera was set up, it looked like you had put him outside in the grass and rolled him around in the dirt. And the only thing that came to my mind was dirt and dig. And I was like, oh, Diggory.
Which is not what I did with him at all.
I know.
It's because of the design. His fabric design is really fucked up. But yeah, that's how Diggory got his name. Random little name there. I don't even know what Diggory means.
Diggory? I think it's British, so let me double check here.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, never mind. It's French.
What does it mean?
Oh, wait a minute. It's British and French. Hang on. Derp, derp, derp. Well, I figure you're going to go with the French version anyway, because the French version is derived from the French "égaré," meaning a stray.
Okay, and what's the other one?
The other one is an English name, which may be a place name referring to a dike.
Okay, I think we'll go with a stray.
But it's not referring to the lesbian dyke, it's referring to...
I know it's not.
But I think we'll go with a stray, because a stray is kind of what Diggory does in the damn,
Going to lead everyone astray.
Oh, yeah. Next up, we have the college punks. The college punks are simple. They're named after the colleges. Some of them are named after certain types of colleges. Their professions kind of match what their college is known for, but other times it's just kind of a random pick.
Yeah.
We just kind of picked what we felt would go with the characters.
Like Juilliard. Juilliard was not picked for...
Yeah.
That at all. It was just, I liked the name, and I was like, she was almost Yale, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, some of the college names we found, it was like, really, guys? We're not doing this.
We almost had a punk named MIT, but that didn't happen.
That would have been cool, though.
Totally thought about doing that.
Mm-hmm. The Facade Crew. I'm not really going to go into their names too much, because if I do, it'll give away what they are and who they are, and they're probably as much under wraps as the college punks are, so we're not going to dig into that right now.
I don't even know how that would, because you know why? I know their names, and I still don't know how that would do that.
Herb, Bishop, Parasol,
Still.
Marionette, Cabaret, Corpac. Corpac's the only one that's out there.
I love how you say you're not. Oh well, this is true. I guess if
Governor,
you actually went in and explained their names, yeah.
Like once you saw them and actually explained the names, it would give it away. Corpac's the only one that doesn't have anything to do with the rest of it. If you've noticed, the rest of them kind of pertain to different types of